Yeah, so it's really funny when I think, oh man, when I tweeted my current thoughts yesterday that the media would call it for Biden, Trump would win in the courts, and then claim he stole the election. Point being that if the media claims Joe Biden wins, but Trump actually wins, they'll say, but I don't understand. I saw on MSNBC that Joe Biden won. Trump stole it. He stole it from us.
He stole it from us. That stupid fat Herbert.
Well, Trump's
The
not
orange man.
The orange orc.
He's actually giant.
Yeah,
He's huge.
big,
He's a very large
So
man.
the best example is this guy I know, known him for a long time. Vosh, we had on the show, tweets at me. He's like, "Oh, Tim, the media doesn't call elections." It's like, wow. To imagine, like, and with respect to him for coming on the show and everything, but imagine sitting through an election, watching the media be like, "We're calling Louisiana for Trump. We're calling New York for Joe Biden," and then to go, "The media doesn't call elections," and then have all of these low information leftists on Twitter be like, "Tim's so dumb. He thinks the media calls elections," and I'm like. Every single journalist on Twitter right now is saying they might call it for Biden. They might call this state. They did call that state. It's like, do you even read Twitter? They don't watch the news. They're just like sitting there with no information and then tweeting like crazy. And this dude messages me and he's like, you really think the media would call it early? And I was like,
heck yeah, bro.
Nate Silver is now calling on Fox and AP to uncall Arizona.
Yeah, exactly.
And the New York Times issued a statement saying, oops, we thought Arizona was done, but Edison Research got it wrong. It's like, man.
How long ago is this? Because I think the Associated Press still has Arizona called.
Yeah, they do. They do, of course.
And
Fox
it's 90% reporting.
And it's slowly going towards Trump.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Georgia is 99% reporting, but Trump's only ahead by like 3,000 votes now. Crazy. North Carolina is 94% reporting, so we still have a little more time there.
But Trump's up there like quite a bit.
Yeah. And then Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, Trump has about a 64,000 vote lead.
I've had friends hit me up freaking out about Trump with the most ridiculous lies you can imagine.
Like what?
Well, the Very Fine People hoax for one. I can't believe like you would support a guy who called Nazis good people. And I was like,
the talking
Literally
points.
Yeah.
But they believe it. Yeah. And then I get a message from a friend saying like, Trump is trying to stop the vote. That's ridiculous. It's just because he's winning now. And now if he stops the vote, he'll win. And I was like, calm down.
Yeah.
That is not what's happening. Trump wants poll watchers. You can argue his intentions if you know what you're talking about and say you really think he's doing something. Fine, that's your opinion. The lawsuit was they shouldn't be counting ballots until we have watchers, while they're tabulating because we don't want any nefarious
foul play.
Yeah, foul play. And they're like, oh, but I agree with that. And then I sent my friend the video where they're boarding up the windows, and she goes, "What are they doing?" And I'm like, "This is exactly why Trump is saying stop."
Yeah.
And she was like, "But I agree with that." I'm like, "Then why were you mad?" She didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
She didn't know. She heard something on Facebook or some media, and she voted for Biden. She voted for Biden, all the Democrats. And I said, I'm sorry. Like my friends from Chicago, I said, you're going to have to explain to me how we all grew up in the same place, getting screwed over by the same people, and you still keep voting for the same people.
Yep. That's horrible.
No good answer.
Listen how like one word could like literally just sway the minds of millions. Trump isn't saying stop the vote. He's saying stop the count. That changes the entire conversation.
But the context is what's missing. The context has been stripped away. If Trump tweeted, stop counting until watchers are making sure the votes are being counted accurately and fairly, then people would have been like, oh.
Yeah.
But the entire MSM is saying that Trump is telling people to stop voting.
Right.
And people believe it.
And there are people.
But you can't vote anymore.
There's these
There
are these videos popping up where people are chanting "Stop the count," and then in Arizona, count the votes, and they're like, "Hey, look how dumb Trump supporters are," and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
How do you run a country when these people just don't care about civic duty or like, what the issue is? Arrogance. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know everything. I'm not saying you should vote for Trump. I'm not saying you should vote for Biden. I'm saying there's a lot of people on the left, and that's why the Democrats goes after youth vote, because they're like, these people will just do what they're told to do, get some celebrity like Taylor Swift, and they'll go, I'll go do it. They go after low information voters because they don't got to convince them of anything.
Yeah.
They can just say, go do it, rock the vote, high five. And that's their path to victory. We got a lot of people in this country who are arrogant and thinking they know how everything should run. Like I had a conversation with a friend someone I've known for a long time, posting all these memes that was just ridiculous fake news. One of them was like, Joe Biden will reduce the amount of troops in the Middle East while Trump is increasing them. And I was like, I'm not kidding. And I'm like, dude. So I commented, I was like, hey, you know that Trump is actually drawing down our troops and signing peace agreements. And he was like, dude, that's not true. The Republicans only want war.
What?
And so we have a conversation for quite a bit. And then ultimately I'm just like, bro, do you trust me? Like, I read the news all day, every day. I'm not lying to you for no reason. And he was just like, I know what I'm talking about.
No,
and I'm like, I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to go there. Why do you think you know more than I do when you work in a warehouse operating a forklift and I literally do nothing but read and comment and report on news all day? And he's like, well, I read. I'm like, I don't care, dude. Look, go believe in flat earth, whatever. Like, you are dead wrong. I can send him articles. I'm not reading your article. Well, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, I mean,
Arrogance.
It's possible to be very informed in any occupation, but yeah, you do read this stuff constantly and are really up to date on it. It's sad, but people have their opinions and they matter very, very much to them. And
no, I think it's ego.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's ego, but it's the same. I mean, it comes from the same place. You become attached to your opinion. You see it as part of yourself, and then when information is presented to you to the contrary, you refuse to believe it because you see that as an attack on yourself.
Yeah.
All I need is evidence. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence.
Liar.
There is no attack on me if Donald Trump loses fairly and Joe Biden walks in with a handshake and says, I'm the president now. I'll say, oh, cool. You know, I guess Biden won, huh?
Will he say I'm the president, or will he go, I'm the, I'm the senator of this country now?
I mean, I got an honest question.
Yeah.
Did he just, can you run for the president and the Senate at the same time?
I don't think so. I think he might have broken some rules on that one.
I don't know. I mean, look at him. If you like him, vote for him. If not, vote for the other guy, Tim. That's all I can say.
No, but it's a serious question. Like, can you, I think you probably can run for both.
I don't think so. Maybe. Let's double check. Let's ask Twitter.
Maybe you can't, because then, what if you win both? You know, do you
stuck? Yeah, I don't.
Then
think
they appoint somebody. Yeah. What if you run for the Senate and the president, then become president, and then appoint someone to the Senate seat because now it's vacant?
I don't think. Yeah, I think probably not.
So what if here's an idea? What if you ran for president, ran for every Senate seat at once, got elected president, and you just handpicked all the senators?
See, that would be an issue.
No,
I don't think it works.
No, I know, because you can only run for Senate. I get it.
If you live there.
Just kidding. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it would still be funny.
But I'm just wondering, when Biden said he was running for the Senate, did that what if Trump goes?
Trump pull that up? He's like, he can't run for Senate and the presidency. We're suing. We're going to win bigly.
No, but what if the Supreme Court is like, it's true, Joe Biden said he was running for the Senate, therefore...
And then he goes, and while we're using gaffes, here's footage of him saying he created the largest voter fraud organization on the planet. Because he literally did say that.
But there's no... So I watched the Washington Post fact check on Joe Biden and the fraud thing, and they're like, here's the real video. And they play the clip, and then they play the actual video, and the context doesn't change. I'm like, what? They just called it a fact check and then played the full video where he's talking about disenfranchisement.
Yeah.
And then says he put together a voter fraud organization. And I'm like, okay, voter fraud has nothing to do with disenfranchisement, and Democrats don't believe voter fraud is a problem.
Yeah.
There's no context that makes it make sense that Joe Biden said we've put together the largest and most diverse voter fraud organization in history or whatever.
But to be fair, many of his statements make no sense in any context.
I'm really excited for a Biden presidency.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. So I've been
not
torn
in a
on
good
this.
way,
No, of course not. I've been torn about this.
Kind of like in a Joker kind of way, you know?
Well, people say things like, oh, well, Trump is so difficult to satirize because he's always so funny on his own. But the thing that was great about the Trump presidency wasn't just satirizing him. It was making fun of everyone's reaction to him. I don't think that we'll get the same thing with a Biden presidency.
Yeah.
People don't really have Biden derangement syndrome.
No,
they don't freak out in the same way. People don't like it. People dislike Biden, but it's not on the same level. And the entire media isn't crying and losing their minds over his every statement. He's also not as funny.
Here's my conspiracy theory. The John Oliver, Samantha Bee, Jordan, what's his face? I don't know his name. And
Peterson.
Who's the guy?
Jordan.
Who's the guy who had the Netflix one that failed too?
Oh,
I don't know, whatever. And Jim Jeffries. All of these D-list knockoff versions of Jon Stewart. Mm-hmm. Here's my conspiracy theory. They were just so annoying. And then finally the powers that be were like, what do we do to get these shows to stop? We need a president they can't make fun of.
Yep.
Well, no,
Joe Biden.
That's the thing. Joe Biden's easy to make fun of. When I say that Biden,
but it's sad.
Well, no, that's exactly it. When I say Trump is funnier than Biden, I mean Trump is funnier than Biden on purpose. When he tweets something really savage, it's like, oh, that's actually comical. But Joe Biden, not so much. It's just sad to watch.
You know why it's okay to make fun of Trump, even his supporters?
Orange man.
No, it's because it's punching up. Because Trump is spry, boorish, like he's clearly strong,
Mm-hmm.
and so when you mock him, it's like he doesn't care. Like I remember when he did that rally where he said, "The lights, they make me look orange," and like
Yeah.
everyone laughed because
Yeah.
he's self-aware. Joe Biden is funny because he's, on the way out, like
his mind is
sundowning
going
and
yeah.
chewing it on
How
a
do you
Shabbat of
guys,
pressure.
how do you guys think Joe Biden
Batacast
is going to
care.
deal with like Black Lives Matter and Antifa?
No, he's just gonna walk up to the meetings and fall asleep, and they're gonna sign over power of attorney.
Like, do you think that he's the law and order candidate to stand against movements like
No,
that?
but Kamala is. Let me tell you.
I don't know.
No,
No,
I
I
think she
think-
is a cop, Tim. I think no. Actually, part of me wonders if
I think
the
it's funny.
reason that they nominated her was in some weird way to try to appeal to law and order
They
voters.
did.
But she's a
It
lefty.
worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. She's just
Corrupted.
she's an opportunist. She'll for sure side with BLM if that's what she thinks gives her an advantage.
I don't think anybody walked in that. Look, I think there's probably a tiny fraction of people, maybe 1 in 5 or 1 in 6, who walked into the polling place being like, "Wow, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, like that's what I want." Most people probably walked in
was
and
what I
went,
did.
"Orange man, bad," and then walked out.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why Biden, that's why they might not win the Senate.
Well, it's funny because Tim and I were having a conversation earlier where Tim was like, the thing is Joe Biden just isn't progressive enough for me, and I don't like what they did to Bernie Sanders, and I really just want far left policies. And I said, you know what, kiddo, let's wait until we're not running against the fascist to have a conversation about whether or not Joe Biden is good enough.
You did, but you
And I
didn't say it
told
that
him
way.
off.
You took the camera and you started shoving it in your face.
Joe
going,
Biden is a fascist. Yeah.
and you're wearing glasses,
I was wearing my big glasses.
big round glasses.
Oh my gosh.
No, so look, I don't know who's gonna win. If Joe Biden wins, it's gonna be hilarious. Not because of Joe. Like I don't.
But
look,
yes, because of Joe.
we make
will
listen.
be funny.
The only reason I make fun of True Nana Shabbat Pressure and Batacast Care is because he's running for the presidency, right?
Exactly. I would just feel bad for him if he wasn't running for president. Like I
like
couldn't
an
make fun
old
of him. He's just an
right,
old man whose
right,
brain
right,
doesn't
right.
work. It's really sad.
But it's going to be really funny when our president, it's like Mr. Magoo, but
Yeah.
like, could you imagine like Mr. Magoo as the president? He like walks up to a wall and goes, "Oh," and then like the like Vladimir Putin is like, what is he doing?
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, like if Trump won or wins re-election, I could make 4 more years of like Trump jokes and TDS jokes, ripping on the media. If Biden wins, I'll get
Gonna make fun of an old guy.
I'll get like a year tops of making fun of an old man, and then Kamala will be president.
Seriously.
But we can make fun of Kamala.
And yeah, but she's not as funny.
I wonder if she stops-
This is the thing. Like Joe Biden, for all of his problems, and Trump, for whatever you might dislike about him, they both have this like likability thing where when you're making fun of them, it's kind of an endearing character. And Kamala is not
No, she's
endearing
got
in that
nothing.
way. Yeah,
No,
she's just
she's just gonna start laughing at everything. She's cackling.
That's the thing. Like it's actually hard to make
But,
fun
but
of
hold
people
on, hold on.
who are
Like,
that unlikable.
what do you think John Oliver is gonna do, and like Samantha Bee, if Biden actually
See,
wins?
but that's what these people don't realize is like Trump has been so good for the economy and jobs that even leftists, hardcore leftists, are able to build empires and
Yeah.
wealth based upon their hatred on Donald Trump. And they don't
true,
realize
yeah.
that this is about to go away. Like even
doesn't
people that
win.
have like crazy merch, like major
true.
merch
Oh,
stores.
yeah, the
You're
Trump
correct.
stuff.
Like
Yeah.
there is so much wealth that has been accumulated even from hatred towards Trump that people don't realize is about to go away.
Yeah.
It's gonna be funny when like people are still trying to sell the shirts, but other people are like, she's just some guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why? Well, I'm not gonna. I don't care, man. It's
Yeah.
like a picture of Trump, like getting I don't peed on or something stupid, and you're like, why would I
disgusting,
want
yeah.
that? That's weird. When he's the president, you're laughing like, hey, he's the president. I think all of these.
It's just going to be cringe and outdated. And it's like,
Oh,
you can't
yeah.
do this anymore.
Well,
you can't
I
say
don't
this
know
anymore.
though,
and-
dude,
and- but
because
wait,
they were
wait.
still making Bush jokes really late into Bush not being president. I saw I saw it was some Seth MacFarlane show, I think Border Town. I saw an episode or two, and that came out in the 2010s and in like the mid 2010s, like when I was in college, and they made a Bush joke in it. I was like, are you serious? Like this is still a dead horse that they're beating?
Yeah.
So I feel like they'll still make
Okay,
Trump
maybe.
jokes long after he's no longer
What's
president.
gonna happen to this era of comedy when we're 10, 20 years down the line, and it's like there's just like a black gap in history. It's like we had a bunch of political comedy, clever points were being made, and then just this dead period of 4 years, where it's just every joke was
Especially
about
with like everything being PC'd up. Like you can't make any jokes. You can't like do anything that's funny or out of the box. You'll get censored on the internet.
Yep.
Like your Netflix special might not be able to make it. But it's just like you can't even have fun anymore. Everything is just so NPC'd and like blank.
Yep.
Like that's all that can exist right now.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.